welcome.
Thanks for having me, mate.
Episode 3. The guests get better each week, I reckon.
Tell KB that. You love it.
Yeah, exactly. Mate, a little bit about yourself for the people watching at home. So you've currently just resigned at
Yep.
Cypress Lakes Golf Club, the Oaks Resort. What was your role out there? What were you doing?
Business development manager. A funny title, a bit salesy, but I was basically hired to be there and be the golf guy. Corporate groups, boys
Yep.
trips, lots of stuff. Look after them.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And you have currently moved into on Monday, your first day was on Monday, the GM of Singleton Golf Club.
Royal Singleton. Yep, I'm there. Third day in as of
Beautiful.
recording today. Yep,
Yep. How you liking it so far?
it's good. Again, 3 days in. Compared to Cyprus, again, you've been at a job for 3 years. You're pretty relaxed there, but start a new place. You got to learn faces, names, staff, operations. It's a bit tight.
For sure, for sure. It'll take a while to get used to it as well, mate. As we spoke about last Friday out there at Cyprus and your last day, you got to get used to all the names now. And I think you said your first day was on the vets day, so you had what 60 odd vets going around trying to remember all their names, and they're the ones that are going to be at the club most of the time as well. So it would have been a good first day.
Big battle ahead. I told them all, quiz me in the next few weeks about them, but yeah, they're a good bunch. So yeah, good day to start
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
No, that's good. Mate, and what's your background? Like where you went to school at Singleton High School, I believe?
Yep. So I'm a Branxton boy originally. Yeah, went
Yeah.
to Branxton Public, then moved to Singleton High. And then sort of
Yes.
went back to Branxton and up to Sydney. So yeah, Singleton boy, I guess.
Yeah, nice. And in terms of, I guess, work, like what's your background in work? Like where did you go when you left school and what did you do? How did you find yourself at Cypress Lakes and what did you do before that?
Yeah, it's a bit of backstory. Yeah, finished school, didn't go to uni, thought 4 years was just too long to do anything. So I ended up doing a
Yeah.
golf college, diploma of golf management, very niche. I did that in
Yep.
Manly Monash Golf Club. And then I ended up
Manly
moving to
boy.
Sydney, Manly boy. It was good. It was good. Yeah, and I ended up getting a job at Kalara Golf Club on the North Shore. When I was 21, I was there for what 6 years, and then 2021 my missus and I, we built a house in Lochinvar, got pregnant, and I had to come home. So I ended up snagging a job at Cypress Lakes. Good timings. So
Perfect. And that was in 2021. So what, you've been there for 4 odd years?
yeah, I was at Cypress for three on the dot, 3 years exactly. 2022 in May and
Yeah.
finished up in May 25.
Yeah, nice, 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 nice. And you live at Lochinvar, don't you? You build a home at Lochinvar there?
Yep, same liner. Yep.
Yes, yep. Yeah, perfect, perfect. And that's you built that, so you're staying there for a while, no plans on moving, going anywhere else?
Essentially, yeah, we built in June 21. We moved in through Mac Jones. Awesome
Yep.
time. But yeah, it's 1,000 square meters. We've got two kids now and a dog sitting behind me for everyone on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
good place, but probably one day move to Mulbring, got a bit of acreage out there with partner's grandpa. So
Yep.
that's a 5-year plan. Move out there, just have some more space. But for now, this is
Yeah.
perfect.
Perfect. Nah, awesome. Mate, just a little bit about yourself in terms of work as well. So, obviously you started on Monday at Singleton Golf Club. What was the main reason for the move? What did you want the change of scenery for? What do you see in the Singleton Golf Club, or what's your idea there?
Yeah, so firstly, leaving Cyprus, the place, it's an amazing place, but in the last 12 months, it got a bit corporate, a bit too much, not as much about golf, more about money. So I was just looking around. A few people sent me some things about Singleton. I thought I'll go for it. I was pretty keen, and when I learnt about the land sales I had and all the financial
Yeah.
benefits coming in the next 2 years, I thought, oh, that's a good opportunity. So yeah, jumped on, and yeah, here I am, 3 days in.
Yeah, perfect. And you mentioned there about the land sale up there. It's I think it's called the Fairways now that the golf
Yeah.
club's getting some money for. They owns that. So in terms of for yourself being exciting, what do you mean by that? So obviously they're getting a bit of financial coin there. I'm assuming for yourself it's good to be able to have that backing and see the club, I guess, develop over the next couple of years.
That's it. You look at a lot of clubs like your smaller ones like your Branksons and Currys and stuff. They're golf clubs that just run on operations and expenses coming out, and But you look at a place like Singleton, and from front of house, you look at it and go, it's just Singleton Golf Club, but they
Yep.
have all that land up there. They're selling it off now due to the bypass and stuff, and it's a fair chunk of money. So you look at that and go, there's a freaking future.
Yep.
And you look at right now, they've put the deck on, they've put a few renovations in place.
Yeah, really nice.
Things are moving. It's like when you go to a city and you see skyscrapers, shit's happening. So I look at Singleton and see things moving ahead, which is what you want, what everyone wants.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously you want to be a part of that and help that grow. So
Yeah, it's exciting to sort of lead the charge, and obviously the board has their thoughts on things, and I've seen the plans pretty briefly, and it
yep.
looks exciting for a place like Singleton.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Do you still play much golf?
Yes and no. Again, as I
Yep.
said, I got two kids, two boys, 1 and 3, so I was playing a fair bit before kids, but I'll be playing a lot more when they do grow up and want to play golf with me. But for right now, my missus lets me play pennants, championships, and the odd corporate day, so not a whole
Yep.
lot, no.
And so you don't play much golf, but I believe you still took out the Branxton Championships this year. Is that right?
Yes, 2024. I've won it, what, 2018, 2019, 23 and 24. But again, Branxton doesn't have a whole lot of competition recently, so it wasn't too big. I'll take the honors, but mate,
Yeah.
I need some competition. Anyone out there? Come on.
Need Lammy to come back and give you some competition, mate.
Yeah, funny story with Lammy. I think it was what I won it 2018, 2019, 2 years in a row. And Corey was thinking about turning pro sort of late 2020, and yeah, he came back and I shot the best ever. I had even par for 4 rounds. He's had 9 under. So couldn't do much there. So yeah, he's a good boy.
And so he won 2020 at Branxton?
Yeah.
Yep,
2020 club champs. That was his last year before he turned pro. So
for sure.
he just wanted to give it a go, get his name up on the board with his uncle and his dad,
Yep,
and sail off in the sunset of being a pro.
for sure. And for those at home that don't know who Lammy is, Corey Lamb,
Yeah.
he turned pro in 2020, I think you just said. Um,
2020, 2021, Lamb Chops. I'm sure everyone should know him by now. Yeah, he's a local pro. He's actually at the Vintage, Cypress Lakes, everywhere. He came, tied second, New South Wales Open last year.
yeah, right.
Played
Yep.
the final round with Cam Smith.
Yep.
So yeah, I think everyone knows who Corey Lamb is by now.
How do you know him, mate? How did you meet him? What's your connection there?
Branxton Golf Club.
Yep.
I grew up there as from an 8 year old. He's about 6 or 7 years younger than me. So I came through with all the boys, Johnny, Chopper, Wolfie, all the boys there, and he was a little bit younger.
Yep.
So we were all good. He was pretty good as well, but he was always the best in the whole place. And as we grew up, found drugs, alcohol, women, he kept at it. So look at him now.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And mate, you said there you started golf when you were 8. What got you into golf? Why did you start?
I didn't really like golf to start off with, honestly. I was a bit of a soccer player and everything else, but I broke my arm twice when I was 5 and 6.
Playing
So
soccer.
mum, no, no, just broke my arm in general. But I was
Yep.
playing soccer that time. But mum said just stick to something not so contact, something else. So the old man's a good golfer, grandpa's a good golfer. So I just got into it from 8, and just stuck with it. And again, like it's funny now. I just turned 30, and all the boys like yourself playing footy. You've all been doing that the whole time, and now you guys have kids and growing up and getting injuries. You're playing, but I've been playing all this time, but you guys have been doing other things, and you're all going, "Hey, so good."
Yeah.
Right? I was that kid in high school playing golf.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And
Golf is cool now.
yeah, exactly. I'm assuming you do like golf now. Obviously, it's your job as well. It's your passion, and that's what you're wanting to do with your career.
Well, mate, pretty much after school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And dad just said, "Mate, you like golf? Do you want to be a pro?" I said, "Oh, not really, not that good. Go do something in golf, go work in golf." And that's why we
Yep.
went for Diploma of Golf Management. And that's a very, very niche title, but it got me into golf, and I'll have a job in the golf industry forever, I think, to be honest. And but
Yeah,
still passionate for it, still love the game, and it's a game you can play forever. So
for sure. And mate, like we've dealt with you out there for 12 months now at Cypress Lakes. You helped us this year with our charity golf day. We've done that for 4 5 years now.
yeah,
And this was by far the best year. So mate, you can see what you do in your job role. You're obviously passionate about, and that's why things like that go so well. And I'm sure Cypress would say the same, that it's gone so well since you've been there. So it'll be I'm excited to see what you can do for the Singleton Golf Club as well. So it'll be good.
yeah.
Moving in some bad news, you're a Sharky supporter.
Depends if you're a Penrith supporter, really.
Well, yeah,
Good for you.
well,
It's a bit rich from you, man.
mate, we're still, even though this year is a
Okay.
little bit of a slump, we're still probably up there in the Elite Two. So
Okay. Sure.
it's
Move on.
okay.
Yep. Yep.
It's okay.
But Sharkies was yeah. Mum's a big doggy supporter. Dad's a big
Yep.
dragon supporter. And it was funny. Dad tried to push me in the Dragons. Mum said dogs. So when I was about 4, Mum took me to a dogs game at Belmore, dogs
Yep.
versus Sharks. And being a 4-year-old, I had the shits with her that day. So all I wanted to do was for her to lose.
Yep.
And since that day of painting me my old room blue, black and white, and I was there October 2nd, 2016. I was there watching it all happen when they finally got it done. But yeah, Sharkies till I die, brother.
Beautiful. Moving into the football, so a bit of a recap on last week. We have a couple of segments here that we do, a little bit about the NRL, have a chat about that, and then some horse racing as well. So, starting in the NRL recap from last week, we had the Dragons against the Knights. I had the Knights to win there. I had Ponga to come back into the team. I wasn't sure if he was going to back up or not. Obviously, he didn't. But my comments were if he didn't, I thought Fletcher Sharp at fullback was a better option than Ponga anyway. And him and Lucas would have wiped the floor with the Dragons. But unfortunately, that didn't happen.
No
Uh,
spite. No.
tough
Bit
loss for
shit
the
for my
Knights. Did you
bit
watch
shit for
tonight?
my Supercoach team.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Storm and Titans. This one was a good one. So I actually had Ned's Racing rang me on Saturday and said, "Oh, big day of racing ahead, blah blah blah. We'll deposit match if you put $1,000 in your account." And I thought, "Oh, right, I'll do that." And I think Storm are paying $1.50. So put $1,000 in, got the deposit match, put $1,000 straight on Melbourne Storm to win. Got me $1,500 back, withdrew it, and then I had $1,000 of free money for Saturday to gamble with. So it was a good little, we'll get into a few tips that I got later on, but it was a good little day
Yeah.
there for that.
The rich get richer. Lovely.
Mate, it was the Titans. I looked at it in the first 12 minutes and the Titans were up by 10, I think, and I was like, oh shit, what have I done? But they come back and done what they do best. So that was good. Cows and Tigers. Again, I got this one wrong. I thought Tigers were going to have a big game with May and Appy Coruscant and Luai with a bit of a chip on their shoulder, not getting into the Origin side. Um, the first half was horrendous. Did you watch this game?
No, I didn't catch it. No, mate. I wouldn't watch Cows and
Mate,
Tigers.
I only watched it because, again, I had that $1,000 of spare money sitting there. I had a bit of a multi on, so, but mate, the first half was horrendous. Yeah, it was disgraceful, and then they come out in the second half and played like I thought they were going to play, and got within 4 points with, 2 minutes to go. So, mate, if they can play like they did in the second half, they're big top six, top four contenders in the comp, but they're just too hot and cold. Like. One of the plays in particular, they kept going, east to west, side to side, and they just kept running out of space. And in the second half, I don't know if it was from the coach or not, they started doing like an unders play with the with a middle forward or a lock. Jerome Luai would do an unders play and then straighten up onto the lead play out the back, and just him skipping across field that little bit more, playing that unders play and squaring up the defense, and then playing at the back. They scored. I think they scored like 3 tries in 5 minutes just from that one play. And then they just went on a roll. So I know the similar thing happened with Penrith. So Penrith versus Para, they got up there, which is great. But same
And
thing, Para were kind of they were in the game, and then Cleary just started doing that unders play and then straightening up to a sweep, and that worked for them too. So probably a good little play to watch out for in the next couple of weeks with your Tigers, your Rabbits, your Parramatters. They seem to be better when Moses, Cleary, Luai drift across field and then straighten up and play out the back to their fullbacks. So. They seem to be more dangerous when they're running them plays for sure. But yeah, Penrith and Para, I was at that game. That was a very
tough
nerve-wracking
watch.
one. We got there. We got there. So it was good.
Yeah, you got your
Uh,
picture with Cleary too. I saw
got me picture with Cleary, mate. I tried to get it 3 weeks ago when I was there, but security guard wouldn't let me past. And
that.
I kind of gave
Yeah.
him a bit of a spray and said, mate, like, move, I'm getting a photo. And he said, oh, mate, I'll happily drag you out of here. So I let that go. But yeah,
Is his chin
finally got
that
me
big in
picture
real
with
life?
Cleary.
Is it big?
Hey,
Is his chin that big in real life?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it stands out, mate, for sure.
It's
It's
crimson.
crazy.
Yeah.
And mate, I tell you what else is big in real life is Zach Lomax. Holy shit.
Yeah.
He's huge. Mate,
Big
I'll,
tall
I'll
fella.
send you a photo later. Paige got a photo of him as well. He is massive.
Yeah, right.
Ripped guy. Ripped guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that now. Yeah.
Huge. But yeah, pretty terrible day for my tips on the Saturday for the rugby league. Um, the horse racing it got abandoned, so I think I had two tips that raced. Pretty average, but the track was a heavy 10. So again, I'm picking these tips on a Wednesday, and then flogs down rain
Mm.
Thursday, Friday, and we're moving tracks to a heavy. So what I'll do this week is I'll reassess them Saturday morning, and if there's any changes to the track, I'll add it to the comments of this podcast we put up. But Eagle Farm ended up getting abandoned after race 4, so all them tips pretty much went out the window. So luckily for me, it wasn't a bad weekend. What did I get? I ended up throwing a bit of money on Ezra Mam to score first or second, and that was paying
Yeah.
550. So I had 100 on that from me $1,000 of free gambling money. Um, and the Roosters. I got a 12 leg multi with the Roosters. It was paying $8,500, and the only leg that lost was the Roosters not to get up. So that was nail biting.
Oh, up the doors. Love
Um,
that.
yeah, yeah. But mate, we'll go into some tips for this weekend later on in the show here. But what I'll do, mate, is we'll just have a little bit of a segment on what we have going on at Harris Electrical next week coming up. Pretty quiet week in terms of how many jobs we've got on because we've got a couple of big jobs on. So we've only got the 3 customers we're dealing with next week, but and we've got the long weekend, which is perfect. Get the Monday off.
Yes.
Um, but we've got a couple of solar jobs. They're all 20 kilowatt solar jobs with 24 kilowatts of battery and full backup power. So a couple of large jobs going on there. They'll take 3 days to do all 3 of them, with all 8 boys hands on deck for that one. And then little jobs in between, which we'll do on our Fridays and Wednesdays. We've got a little automatic gate set up out there at Muswellbrook for a rural customer, and then just some normal electrical works out at your old place there at Cyprus, doing a bit of tidying up and just
Plenty to do.
little bits and pieces here and there. But mate, the solar and battery side of things has taken off. I don't know. Do you have solar on your place at
Yeah.
Lachlan
Yeah.
Bar there? Yeah, mate. It's just especially with the rebates that the government's brought out now for the batteries, people are just chewing at the bit to get them on. It's yeah, and they're going quite large. Like our average size installation last year was like 7 to 8 kilowatts, and now we're looking at 20 to 25 kilowatts a week easily per installation. So people are really trying to get that off-grid system set up. Um, Mate, a little bit of industry news as well before we get into the rugby league. So what we're going to do is a little bit of industry news on my industry, and then we're going to go into your industry as well and have a chat about, a little bit of news in your industry and whatnot. So, mate, the biggest thing for us this week at Harris Electrical is so Ausgrid sent out an email. Oh, it might have been last Friday that one of their workers got electrocuted doing some high voltage work and he passed away. Mate, it happens heaps with Ausgrid. Well, not heaps, but it's probably happened 3 times in the last 12 months. And what happens is when that happens, Ausgrid go into a full shutdown. So they shut down, obviously, for us to do high voltage or even low voltage work on the service side, on the distribution side. Um, we've got to get approvals through them and hand in applications. When
Yeah.
things like this happen, they stop everything. They put the whole industry on a halt. So we got an email on Monday saying, all applications and work to be completed on our network are at a hold until further notice. We'll let you know after an investigation is held. So it's just crazy how accidents happen as well. Like I'm not saying that it definitely needs to be investigated, but accidents happen. And to shut down an entire industry for
Mm.
these accidents for the foreseeable future, I just don't understand how they can do that. It's crazy.
It affects a lot of people as well, like a lot of electricians out there, and yeah, whole industry really.
100%. And like customers like yourself, mate, like if you were, let's just say you bought that property that you were speaking about earlier in the podcast and you started to build a new home on the farm there, we would obviously need to contact Osgrid to get power to it. Now, if we were meant to put power on your property this Friday, because you were getting ready to start building or even move in, we can't do it. It's at a
Mm.
halt. So, and then you're ringing me saying, Coop, like, why can't you do it? And I'm saying, well, Osgrid, and you're saying, well, I want to move into my bloody house. Like, what do I do? And I'm like, well, mate, we don't even have an answer on when they're going to be back online. Like, it's just crazy how they can do it, mate. But it's, as I said, it's happened 3 times now in the last 12 months. It's crazy. Um, but anyway, that's what's big in my industry. Moving into your industry, mate, the Singleton Golf industry. So, that's where I first became a member at the Singleton Golf Club. When COVID started, 2019, as everyone did, got on the COVID
You're a COVID
bandwagon.
golfer.
I'm a
COVID
COVID
golfers.
golfer, mate.
We love them. We love them.
And I lived about 200 meters from the golf course. Obviously, couldn't do anything. And I thought, well, $375, I think it was then, to sign up, and that's all I could do for 12 months. So definitely a COVID golfer. Um, but mate, what do you think, I guess, with all we've spoken about and your history and your expertise and what's coming into the club in terms of funds, what do you think you can do for the club at Singleton? What are you, you've only been there for a little bit, but what's your thoughts at the moment on what you can do for the club?
No, again, 3 days into it, start off with just, get the place back up to where it should be. As many members know, they haven't had a manager there for about 2 months, so the place has been let go a little bit in that regard. And there's a lot of good people. Mate, I've, again, been there 3 days. There's so many volunteers. There's so many people who give a shit about the place. So it's obviously a well-loved club, and again, it's the only golf club in Singleton. So, and also, yeah, I'm looking at it now. It's cricket, soccer, tennis, whatever else is there. It should be a
For
sports club.
sure.
Should, yeah,
Yeah.
golf is golf. Yeah, golf is cool, but again, for people who play those sports, it should be their place as well. So Singo Sporties, whatever you want to call it, one day. But yeah, just and again, with my background, not saying it's amazing, but coming into the place with all the experience from a North Shore private club with a lot of rich, wealthy people, and to a
Yeah.
corporate resort like Cypress Lakes, taking those two things and coming to a little traditional golf club, seeing how I can bring those things and facets of other places into the place. But again, for short term, just get the place back up and running. A lot of things to learn, a lot of people to learn, and a lot of people who've been there for a long time and do a lot for the place. So making them feel appreciated and heard, and yeah, just getting back to where we are first, and then we'll go from there.
For sure. And I do like that, mate. Like, it's for, I guess, a long-term goal for the club. As you said, there's so many sporting complexes and clubs around the golf club.
Mm.
And Singleton, but the golf club in particular, it's a fairly clicky place, like, at the moment. So, you don't go there unless you play golf.
Yeah,
So, to try and, I guess, get that to be like just a normal pub in town, and even a sports club or a sporties, that we can start getting a lot of different clubs back there, and that
yeah,
again will make the whole community, sporting industry in Singleton greater as well. So, it's definitely
yeah.
a good goal to go towards. Do you see, again, very, very early, but do you see any short-term changes you want to make there, or more of just getting your head around the place and getting to know what's going on first?
Again, I can see a few things like obviously, staff is one thing. They're all great, but they're very new as well.
Yep,
So getting them trained up, and we've got a great bar manager now. She can get out of the office and back out in the bar, which is good.
for sure.
Again, a few things with members and things like that who have again complaints, feedback. It's all good. Just tell me
Yeah.
what's the problem. I'll listen to you, and we'll figure something out from there. So just resolving all the little things that have sort of fallen the last couple of months, because again, it's unfortunate the way it's happened the last couple of months, but I'm here now, so it's all up in the future, all
Yeah, for
subjects.
sure. And so obviously leading into starting your role at the club, you've been there for 3 days now. Has the 3 days that you've been there impacted any of your thoughts or any changes that you were thinking you were going to make, or any ideas on what you were, coming into?
Not as such. Again, being a Branxton boy myself, I look at Branxton Golf Club. I'm on the board there, so I'll sort of see a bit more operations of a similar tier club to Singleton, and
Yeah.
it's like Branxton, but a bit better as well. And just in a way, it's a bit more. organized, structured, and a shit ton of volunteers. So they help out a lot. And as
For
actually
sure.
when I got there, I thought this is great. Like these people care, they can do things. So there's a lot of support. And again, in my 3 days there, everyone's been welcoming, all happy. They're very happy to see me as well, which is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
So I've had a
I
lot of
can see that.
a lot of people saying, yeah, reach out if you need anything. So again, yeah, short term is just getting the place up and running. And yeah, from what I thought, it's exactly what I thought it'd be. I've been talking to Desi for a while on the board about things, and they've all got their own views and opinions on things, and they're all valid. So just a matter of taking in everyone's opinions and views, and focusing on what we all want to do with the place
For
because
sure.
it's a members club, it's a community club. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
not just one
perfect.
person.
And mate, touching on that, it is a community club, and a club can't run without its members. What do you say to people like uh I'll give you two examples. Like myself, for example, I was a member there for 3 or 4 years. Um, and again, just wasn't seeing the value for money there with what the club was doing and what we were getting out of it. And I guess support. Like we ran a charity golf day, and they done great golf days there, but as we were growing, they couldn't accommodate. And then went out to you guys at Cyprus there, and you have well and truly, I'm not even a local there, and you have helped me in more ways than just golf. And another example being, I'm sure you saw on the weekend there was a post put up by Guzza Aaron Goadsby on Facebook
Yeah,
there. Bit of a rant, things like that probably shouldn't be put on social media, but it obviously has been a build up of a lot of things for him and a lot of members over the past. And he's a member, he's a long member, he's a sponsor, a very good sponsor, a very long-term sponsor. Um, and I'm pretty sure he sponsored the golf day on the weekend. There was no presentation, there was no recognition. He doesn't want the materialistic recognition, but even thanks for sponsoring today, blah blah blah. So he's put a big rant on Facebook, pretty much bagging out the Singleton Golf Club, which it's probably well deserved, and I agree with most things he said. Maybe not on that platform, but again, it's probably a build up of numerous things that have happened. So, for people like him that might not go back to the golf club, might pull his sponsorship. People like myself who, have never sponsored there because we just don't really see the benefit of it. Personally, I think you've got your people that are already in at the golf club, and it's very clicky. And once they're in, they're supporting the people that are already in there. What do you say to people like that have, I guess, already left or already on the outer to get them back? What's your plans there?
stay patient. That's all I can say. I was sent the Goose's Facebook brand again. Like
It was good.
everything he had was I've spoken to you and a few other people, and everything he's got there is very valid. Again, it's
Yeah,
just the way putting it out there, just the way it was put out there. But again, very valid, and I want those people like Goose and everyone else to be heard and to be listened to. And if they have an issue, come see us and we'll try and solve it or fix it before it gets that far to be put on social media.
for
But people
sure.
like yourself, like stay patient. If you haven't enjoyed it previously, you're a local, you'll come back, and hopefully in my time there, we can make you guys, come back, enjoy it, and get some value in it. Even sponsorship, like it's one small thing I looked at today, and it's very wide. A lot of sponsors. I'd love to condense that a little bit because when you have a club of volunteers like there is, like you got your presidents and captains, they're all volunteers.
Yeah,
They all got lives to do and stuff to go to, and um, if we're going to promise these things like we do, presentations, shout outs, you got to bloody deliver.
yeah,
But if we can't deliver consistently, don't do it. Simple as that.
for sure.
So yeah, just stay patient with us. The place has gone downhill in the last 2 months without a person in charge. So a person in charge is back now. So yeah, let's make Singleton great again.
Perfect. I love it. You gonna get some hats made up?
See if it's in the budget.
Yeah, perfect. Mate, I might sponsor them. You might get me on as a sponsor. I can
Oh,
sponsor
there
some,
we go.
yeah,
Harris
some,
Electrical.
yeah, exactly. Make Singleton great again. Let's do that. Mate, moving into some sport. So this weekend, we'll touch on a bit of rugby league, bit of NRL, and we'll go into some horse racing, which I know you know heaps about. Same as me. I'm an
Um,
expert on horse racing.
oh, pick the grey horse, the colourful horse.
I agree. I am all for that one. Mate, so Thursday night, we have Knights versus Manly. Tough one. They're very two hot and cold teams.
No, 97 grand final rematch. We're back on.
Is it really?
Pretty sure,
There
yeah.
you go. There you go. Mate, they've obviously got Ponga back in the team as well.
Is that
Uh,
good?
another half partnering in Fletcher Sharp and Cogger. And then obviously Manly without Turbo still. Um, Personally, I'd probably, oh, mate, it's actually a tough one. What do you reckon?
Well, my logic is the Knights lost last week, yeah, so they'll probably win this week. Go with that.
Yeah, that is true. That is
And
true.
Manly
And
not won last week.
they are at home as well. That's probably right, mate. They are very hot and cold teams. Let's run with that. We'll go Knights. Um, Melbourne Storm and Cowboys again, mate. We spoke about this last week. Storm are probably one of the only teams that have been consistently in the top four throughout the whole period of time at the NRL. So they're a very strong team. Cowboys will have to do very well to knock them off on Friday night.
Yeah, and Grant's back in, pretty sure, Harry.
Um,
Fairly sure.
don't think he wasn't on the ins list.
Okay.
But he might be. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
captain.
that's it.
He,
If
he's,
you got the
he's
whole
captain.
spine back in, they'll be clicking. And again, down in Melbourne, I saw a stat this morning. Cows haven't won there since 2015 when they won the comp. So
Oh,
it's been a
really?
while.
Yeah, fair call. And I don't that Jackson Purdue, like he's growing into his filling into his shoes there at 5'8", but still a lot of learning to do. Like he started as a center. Obviously he was in the halves as juniors, but he's still got a lot of learning to do in the NRL for that.
Give me the Storm.
Um, yeah. Dolphins, Dragons. This is probably my favorite game of the weekend. Reason being is because if the Dragons knock the Dolphins off, Penrith will jump to 11th, I think
Oh,
it is. So
we're doing some math here, are we?
we are doing
Jeez.
math, mate. We're slowly
Ladder.
creeping into the top eight. So I'm going to go for Dragons. I don't care about statistics or who's playing who. I'm backing Dragons every day of the week.
Give me the Finns. They've been pretty hot lately. I can't. And it's at Suncorp, I'm pretty sure. So
It is.
yeah, give me the Finns. Up the
Mm,
Finns.
they're going to be very hard to beat. As I said, I gave Katoa a big rap last week. I think he's one of the most in-form halfbacks in the game this year, and
Right.
he's steering that side around well. He'll be very hard to beat. But go the Dragons.
Dargans, let's go.
Sure, boys. Sharks and Warriors. Warriors are pretty hot this year too. You boys have been good, but very hot and cold. What do you reckon? What are you going to do this weekend?
Again, Sharks probably shit the bed, but Barnett is out. So that's a big, big out for them. Shark Park, we're off the bye. No real changes. I think Katoa's back in for us on the wing, so it's pretty big.
Yep.
Give me the Sharks. Give me the Sharks 13 plus. Why not?
Yeah, again, mate, it's tipping's hard this year, but I'm gonna go Warriors. I think Luke Metcalf, he's in my super coach. I got him in my fantasy.
He's a former Shark too.
Well, there you go. There you go. He's playing unreal. I think him and I'd like to see them versus the Dolphins. I don't know when was the last time they played, but him come up against Katoa. I think they're two very young, very
Mm,
confident halves in the game at the moment. Um, Nico Hines has got a lot of confidence recently, and I think that's what's making the Sharks go better. But man, I'm going to go Warriors. I'm going to go Warriors there, just to go
game on.
against you.
Game on. I'll send you a message that night.
I'll put hopefully Ned's ring me. I'll put me $1,000
Mhm.
wager on him. Broncos Titans, big brother, little brother.
Okay.
Very interesting one as well. And I think Reece Walsh is back in the side this weekend. Mariner goes to 18th man. And other than that, the sides are fairly unchanged from the week before. Yeah, they are. Um,
Yeah, both teams pretty trash, but Reece Walsh I think will make a difference. Him and Ezra together, I think they're best mates and they'll rip in. So yeah, give me Bronx.
yeah, the only thing that can affect that as well is the news during the week about Payne Haas.
Oh,
Uh,
news.
his manager's come out and said that, well, I think his manager actually rang a few clubs and said his contract's up in 2026. Legally, clubs can't talk to him until November, as per the contract. However, he's gone to a few clubs and said, hey, we're interested to have a chat as soon as November hits. So that's gone around a little bit, and he might be looking to exit there. So again, when news normally comes up about that, it won't affect Payne's performance. Not a
No,
chance. He'll
no,
just
we're making
catch
better.
ball, go forward. Yeah. But depends on how his teammates respond and what the
No,
camaraderie is like at training and whatnot there to see how, I guess, they perform as a team with that news.
yeah,
But still, I'm going to go the Bronx, mate. Like, yeah, the Titans don't have. we had Foxy on last week, who he's a Titans through and through, and they got great attack, which you could see when they versed Melbourne Storm there, but the defense, they just can't keep tries out, which you got to do to win. Moving on to Sunday, Raiders and Rabbits. Raiders are very strong this year, mate.
Mm.
I think they blow Rabbits off the park, honestly.
This is the game of the week for me. Again, there's Josh Papali'i's 301st game, so his first, his game back at home, is it? Is their home?
Perfect. Yep.
It does.
Yep, it is.
But
Yep.
in saying that, Rabbits have a few back. They got obviously Latrell there, Jack Whiten, Cody Walker.
Correct.
And
Yep.
then did Jai Gray get kicked off because Latrell's back in?
Yep, he's not
Yeah.
there. And
The
he's not on the
Dalian
bench either, mate. He's number 19.
Dalian leaderboard from what 3 weeks ago kicked off. So they're doing all right.
Yeah. Yeah,
Tough,
it's
but it is
tough.
what it is. But
Mate, for
Fogarty out
me,
as well.
hey,
Fogarty out, is he?
yeah, correct.
Yeah.
No, he's in.
He's in.
He's in. He was out last week, so but he's back in this week. That's what I was going to say, mate. The difference for the Raiders for me is Owen Paddy. Owen Paddy off the bench, number 14. He went into number 9 last week. Absolutely killed it. He was the game changer. He kicked a 40-20 in the first 5 minutes coming on the field. That's confidence. That's huge,
Yeah.
huge set of balls there.
Yep.
And then I think after that 40-20, I think it was fourth tackle. He jumped out from 9, 5 minutes out, put a little rubber in, and they scored. Mate, that's confidence plus coming off the bench there. And Ethan as well in obviously you got Ethan Strange at 5'8", but last week another young Ethan there coming at 7 and he killed it. So but again you got Fogarty coming back into the side.
Is
Again, the
he?
news of him leaving. Yeah.
I reckon they might have a late change. Is Ethan? Is it Sanders? Is he on the bench?
He's
Because
not on the bench, but he is number 22. So
think about it. If Fogarty's what 31, he's got a groin injury.
yep.
And they got the bye next week, and this is their first bye. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets kicked off last minute
And
potentially.
he's not
Plus, Tommy Starling's back, so
he is,
Paddy's on the
yeah.
bench. Yeah.
And he's not even at the club next year. So do you start
Mm,
getting Sanders in there to train him for next year, or do you keep what's working? They're currently coming second. Do you jeopardize that? Don't know.
mm.
We'll have to wait and see that one. But mate, I'm thinking Raiders as well.
Yeah, give me the Durs, but 1-12, just because Papali'i's 300th game back home. So yeah, give me
Yep.
them.
Yeah, beautiful. Tigers Panthers. Be a good
Luai
game.
Cup, Luai
Yes,
Cup. Here we go.
it'll be good. Couple of ex-Penrith boys there coming up against very, yeah, not
Who's home game?
it's Tigers, mate, but it's actually at Combank. So this is where it gets a bit tricky
Done that
because
twice now.
Combank's our home ground this year. We obviously played Parramatta there on the weekend, and it was our home game. Not Parramatta's, and then you got the Tigers who are having a home game there. So realistically, it's really no one's home game.
Mm.
But again, Galvin's moved on. Don't know if that adds any or takes any pressure off the shoulders of the Tigers team. Got young Heath Mason moving into 6 there. I haven't seen him play this year. Don't know
It
what he's
was good last
capable
week.
of.
Very good.
Was he?
Very much. Scored a try, I'm pretty sure. 100
Yep.
points in Supercoach.
Yeah, right. Very nice. And mate, we've got another full strength side by the looks of it. We actually dropped Paul Alamotti last week. I wasn't aware of. He went back to New South Wales Cup or went back to the Reggie side. I watched him play before the game. I looked out and I saw him there, and he actually had a blinder. So I'm surprised they haven't called him up. But two players I've been very critical on this year, being Casey McLean and Tom Jenkins. They actually played quite well last week. So see if they can put two together. Takes a great play to back up 2 weeks in a row. So see how we go.
As I said to you last Friday, I think Penrith will either do really well or just pack up and give up. But after last week against the Eels, they put up. So give me the Riff, 13 plus. But I'm keen to watch that game with Luai
Yeah.
and Cleary, the battle of the boys.
So am I, mate. And a little bit of a stat for you. Penrith have not lost with a full strength side this year. They've won 3 and they've had a full strength side 3 times. So
Wow, great
4 from
stat.
4. Let's go.
Let's
Uh,
go.
and Monday game, long weekend. Bulldogs versus Para. I
Yeah.
think again, got a good rivalry, these two clubs. I think Parramatta, obviously that's first versus 16th. So,
Mm,
but again, Penrith versus Parramatta last weekend didn't look like a bottom two team. They looked
mm.
like it was a finals match again. They both played some pretty informed footy. So hopefully Parra can bring that to the Dogs on Monday as well.
Thoughts on Galvin, where he ends up in the squad if he does come in?
Mate, I reckon it would be silly to bring him off the bench.
Definitely.
Um, if I was going to do it, I would probably. Oh, it's a tough one.
Uh,
Mate, I'd probably actually get rid of Montoya. I'd drop him.
yep.
I'd move Stephen Crichton to wing and I'd put Matt Burton at centre and move Lachlan Galvin in the six.
Okay, I was thinking similar thing, but I'm thinking drop kind of Tracy, put Critter back to fullback, um, put Birdo back to
Yep.
centre, and have Galvin in the six.
Who would you
But
put at
again,
fullback? Critter.
Critter, yeah,
Yeah, it's a fair
I
call.
reckon he's a long-term fullback. Surely he's wiry, he's fit, so yeah, that's where I go. But again, do you reckon he comes into the side, Galvin, on Monday afternoon?
Um, I reckon he does.
Yeah, Gussie wouldn't put him in the team. There'd be too much talk, so he'd probably put it in a half hour before.
I reckon he does because reason being is because it's against Parramatta. The
Mm.
crowd will love
Yeah,
it. Gus is a big
yeah.
advocate of, promoting the NRL, so I reckon they'll do it. And they can't lose much from this. So Dogs are well and truly coming first. They can't lose much at all. Fuck it, throw him in the deep end. I would.
Give me Para. I think Moses is too good, and I have a funny feeling this whole Galvin thing's going to derail the Dogs. Like I love the Dogs, love them all, but it's a bit much halfway through the season. You got Toby Sexton out of sorts. You got fucking what's his name, the hooker out of sorts. So
Yeah,
yeah, I have a
read
have a
money.
funny feeling after this it's going to be a bit downhill, but who knows?
Mate, the thing I don't like about the whole Lachlan Galvin scenario is he openly said in his interview, like, why did you choose the Dogs over Parramatta? And he said, well, I like Serraldo, I like Crichton, kick out, blah blah blah. But one of the things that got me is he said, well, they're winning at the moment, they're coming first, and straight away that
Mm,
clicked for me, and I was like, so you're chasing the glory. Like Parramatta obviously aren't performing. He come out early in the year before the comp even started and said, he was a junior para. He was disappointed that they didn't pick him. He follows para through and through. It's his team. But I'm telling you, if I got into the NRL and I was good enough to make it, and the Storm were chasing me, or Penrith were chasing me, and Penrith were coming 18th or 17th or whatever, I would 100% go for Penrith every day of the week. Like it's
yeah.
your childhood club. It's the club that you followed.
Mm.
That'd be a dream to play for that team that you followed all your life, not just chase a premiership.
And it's obviously not about
Um,
money either. If it was about money, he'd stay at the Tigs. So who
100%.
knows?
It's
Who knows?
very strange to me, mate. But yeah, we'll see how he
Got to,
performs. Again, I wasn't too impressed by that comment. I don't know how that'll pan out for him.
he's got to pay for those haircuts too. Anyway,
Yeah, correct. Mate, moving into a bit of golf.
yep.
This is your domain. I only watch the Masters and when Tiger Woods makes a return, or what's the father-son combo cup they play?
The PNC or wherever it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, correct. I like watching that. It's a bit of a laugh, but Scotty Scheffler won his fourth tournament this month, racking up a $10 million prize money little check there for what, 30 days worth of work.
Not much. It's yeah, it's hectic. He's younger than me, probably same age as you, and he's a freak. Ever since 2022 came on the scene, he's just killed it. He's what, three majors now, two Masters and a PGA. He honestly he's reminding me of Tiger a bit, just not the way he's doing things, but just the feeling you get when he's in the field. You go, he's probably going to win.
Yep,
Like,
for sure.
so he's a freak, and his swing, mate, his swing. You've seen it?
Man, I've got it here. Like his footwork and his swing,
Mm,
it's definitely not if you went to any, if he was to disguise himself and go to any training coach in Australia and do his swing, they'd be like, "Oh,
yeah,
we'll pull it back. We got a lot of work to do here." Uh,
yeah.
unique,
Mate,
unique.
I was playing the weekend with the old man. Yeah, last hole I was just talking about, and had a go, and didn't go well. But it's cool to see how he feels in his body. But my biggest worry is again, you look at Tiger, how hard he swung, how hard he went for it. His body gave up.
Yep,
If you slow mo Scotty's swing down, his left ankle just snaps.
it
And
does. Yep.
I'm worried one day when he's 30, 35, whatever, it might just go on him. So I can see him in the future changing his swing up. But for right now, fuck, it works. It's awesome.
Mate, to be quite honest, if he broke his leg tomorrow. He's making $10 million a month. So hang him
Mm,
up.
true. But again, the same with Scotty. I'm sure you might have seen on the socials, like him and his little fella Bennett, 1 year old,
Yep.
his
Yep.
Mrs. Meredith, and he wins the trophy. She passes him off. He's got a big shit up his back. Like he's just a dad like you and me, but he's just very rich, more like you, not
Mate.
like me. But yeah,
Mate, I think I was speaking to Kyle about this the other day. I think the reason that he is so good, especially in high pressure situations, is he is, and you look at all these athletes from America, they're a big believer I'm not religious at all and I don't believe in any of
mm,
this, but he's a big believer in Christ and, the higher powers and whatnot.
huge.
And
Yep.
he openly says in his interviews, like when he's coming into a shot, might be a high pressure shot, could be 150 out, and he's got to get it within 2 foot to make the cutoff. And he just walks up and goes, "Oh, it's out of my control. Like I just put it in
Yeah.
God's hands and I put it in faith's hands. And if I hit a good shot, I do. If I don't, I'm not meant to be in the." And like to walk into a situation like that with absolutely no care factor and just go, well, it's not up to me to do this. There's someone else controlling that for me. That's how, he's controlled his mind. And again,
Mm,
having that belief about, God and all that obviously helps, but he's controlled his mind to go, you know, outside noise cleared,
yeah.
not a worry in the world. There's no tension. There's no routines the same, and just there it is.
Yeah.
That's why I believe he's so good. Just he's
Yeah.
controlled his mind. It's
Yep. And he
crazy.
doesn't make mistakes either. Like when he's a couple of shots ahead coming down the last, the Memorial, you go, he's just going to win this. He's not going to make
Yep.
a mistake. Whereas other people like your Rory's or your Jordan Spieth, you go, oh fuck, he could do anything here. But
Yep.
Scotty, is cool as a bean. So yeah, he's going to be a good player for a long time, definitely.
Mate, he's probably the only person that I know can be locked up for 24 hours and come out the next day and still start leading.
That was awesome.
It's
Yeah, I
just
still think of that, but yeah, that was a cool time.
100%. And mate, there's a tournament. The US Open is in 2 weeks, I believe.
Yep, at Oakmont.
Who's your pick for that
One,
one?
oh, Scotty, really? Again, I think big events like that. It's at Oakmont, one of the better courses to have it at. I was reading something the other day. They made their own blend of grass for the rough to make it thicker. And there's a lot of footage going around of the boys, dropping their balls and shit like that. And it's just hectic. So, yeah, give me Scotty or Rory. I think the big boys turn up. Maybe even Bryson. Those
Yep.
three will be up there in the top 10, I think. A little smoky for me. I'm a big Jordan Spieth fan.
Yeah,
Massive. It's been hard to watch him like
it
fall
has.
from grace like he has. But
Yep.
he played well last week, came top 10 or something. So I can see
Yep.
him trending. But it's
Yep.
it's a hard person to follow, much like the Panthers. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. No, I feel you. And is the Canadian Open this weekend?
Yep, that's this weekend. Rory's in the field. I was
Yep.
looking at it earlier today, and it's Rory, and that's it. There's a lot of players, but give me Rory. He's had a few weeks off. He missed last week. Yeah,
Back
he's
on
an
home
upper
soil.
class.
Well, not
Yeah,
home soil, but
or Northern Ireland.
he he
But he
he
has.
loves Canada. Like like in most tournaments that he plays there, he always, again, it's not definitely not home soil, but it's his preferred soil, I reckon. Loves it. Loves it.
Yeah, he's
Isn't
won,
that
he's won there
where
before.
that's where him and what's his mate's name?
And Larry.
Shane Lowry. Didn't they win that tandem tournament they play? Wasn't that in Canada as well?
That's a good question. More
I'm
than
pretty
likely,
sure
but
it
yeah,
was.
he loves Canada. He's won there before, and looking at the field, the week before US Open, give me Rory for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree there. I agree with Rory. I'll probably go US Open. I'm going to go Bryson. Going to go Bryson. I think if he can control his drive a little bit better, maybe take a little bit of distance off it. I reckon he gets
Yeah.
up. I'm going to go Bryson.
He's hard. I like him, but it's again like it's hard to follow because sometimes you love him, sometimes you hate him. But again, you cannot complain about his golf. He's that good.
100%.
And again, around those places, he can bomb it next to the green, chip and putt, done. He's
Yeah.
50 meters in front of everyone else. So
Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
yeah, good shout.
For sure. Mate, back into Lammy. How did he get to where he is? So obviously he was a little bit younger than you, started playing golf around the
Mhm.
same time as you. What's the difference between someone like him, and someone like yourself or your other mates that you were playing with growing up? Like, what's the difference between him and making it to where he got to and just an ordinary person like me as well? Like, what's the difference between, I guess, footy players that I've played with that have made the NRL and
Mm.
me that's just staying at Singleton? What's the difference there?
Well, I mean, he's always again. He's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot of natural talent. You look at his uncle, Uncle Mark Hale. He's a freak as well. 18-time club champion at Branxton, which
Yep.
is a big thing, but also not a big thing. He's now a senior pro, Mark Hale.
Yep.
His dad's a great golfer as well. So there's golf in the family, and he's had complete natural talent all his life. But natural talent can only take you so far.
Yep.
And he's on the grind. He's there at Cyprus every day hitting balls, and there's no way for a person like me, I couldn't sit there for 6 hours a day hitting balls. I couldn't do
Yep.
it. Sounds horrible. But
Yep.
you see him on his days off, but every day he's there practicing, putting, chipping. So
Yep.
there's something in your brain that when it's your job, you got to do it. Like your job, you rock up. I see you send me emails at fucking 5:30. Like you got to be dedicated, and he
Yep.
is dedicated. But yeah, he's different because he has that natural talent, but he's also pushed it because he is working hard at it. And I've talked to him before about it. It's his job now. So when we go to work, he goes to plays golf, and it sounds like a cruisy gig, but a lot of pressure, a lot
Yep.
of people in your ear about things. And end of the day, he's just got to play good golf, and that's what he does. Like he
Yeah.
shoots, casual 10 under at Cyprus on the normal Wednesday, and for
Yep.
him, he's like. He left a few shots out there. So yeah, for
Yeah.
him, the reason he's good, he's got a good work ethic and a lot of talent.
And mate, that's something we spoke about last week is you know, we mentioned it last week and Craig Bellamy's a big advocate of it is hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So he's got that
Yeah,
talent, but he's also working hard, to
yeah.
put them two together. I saw you last Friday. I had a bit of a meeting out there at Cyprus and then had some lunch and had a quick chat to you at Cyprus and I went and saw the pro shop there and said, "Oh, can I go for a quick round by myself?" And he said, "Oh, you've got to wait half an hour because we've got, the course is full, but go hit some balls in the range." And I thought, "Oh, fucking not hitting balls in the range. Like, I want to play a game of golf." And anyway, so I got me set up and I went up there and I just sat at the first tee for a little while and I looked to me right and here was Lammy at the range
Mm,
hitting some balls. And mate, I'm fucking a 15 handicapper at the moment, probably the best I've got is to 12. And but
Generous.
I would never ever get to that point. But I guess the main difference there is I'm rocking up on a Friday and just want to play golf, and he's going, no,
Mm,
no, no. I'm going to sit here on the range and just hit ball after ball after ball. And I watched him for about 5 minutes, mate, and just so smooth back, very slow,
yeah,
and just it's literally like a knife through butter. It's
yeah.
beautiful to watch.
Yeah, when you play with him, it's like a different sport, but it is like a different sport. The way he hits it, the way he puts it, I find
Yep,
we all hit the ball, like we hit the
yep,
ball physically. He rolls it. He literally rolls it down, and you watch his swing. Like you wouldn't teach a kid that. He's all
no,
wrist, he's all arms. He's a bigger boy. He's working on that, but he rotates around his body well.
yep.
Again, I reckon if he lost 20 kilos, it'd be detrimental to him. So he's
Wow.
learned to swing around him, and he puts all his weight and effort into it, and fuck, it works. It's different,
Yeah,
but it works. And he's perfected his swing. So
yeah. No, that's good, mate. Any funny stories about him? Any stories that no one would know?
oh, just that one about the Champos. Yeah, two-time club champ coming into it, shoot my best score ever, and he pips me by about 9 shots. And I feel sorry for my other mate, Joshy Tracy. Shout out Joshy. He shot what 4 under that year and still lost by 5. So he's just a freak. He's just a freak, young Corey. He loves his cars. He's got his Subaru, his Impreza, WRX, and all that. But again, like not a funny story, but one of the stories I'm proud of him for is New South Wales Open this year. Or is it last year?
Yep.
Last group was Cameron Smith,
Yes.
golfer Cameron Smith,
Yep.
and you look at that and you go, shit, like he's a little boy from little fat kid from Branxton, like he's out
Yep.
there with Cameron
Yep.
Smith, and he held it towards him. I'm pretty sure he came equal second with him.
Yeah.
So it's shit
That's
like that. You
unreal.
look at that and go, that's crazy. And even you look at this year's Australian Open, they got Rory McIlroy confirmed.
Yep.
Awesome to see if Corey can make the field, and then imagine seeing him and Rory shoulder to shoulder walking
Yeah,
around
that's
like
unreal, mate. That's good on him.
awesome.
Good on
Yeah.
him.
So yeah,
Mate, all that sport before we move into some horse racing, which I'm sure you've got some weapon tips for me. What's your tip of
great
the
horses.
weekend? Out of the golf, out of the NRL, what's your tip of the weekend? What are you going with? I,
Mm.
I'm, I'm actually going to put $100 of my money on it. So what do you got for me?
Oh, fuck, I'm gonna lose $100. Again, I was watching Jordan Spieth really closely last week, and he had something.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the third or fourth round he had even par. He had 6 birdies, 6 bogeys, and 6 pars.
Yeah, right.
That's a Jordan Spieth round, a big roller coaster. But
Yep. You
yeah,
can
I
put it
reckon
together.
Jordan Spieth, US Open, top 10.
Yeah, right. Done.
Yeah, I'm feeling that. Yeah, I'm
Done.
paying what, $15 or something.
Yeah, you would be. I'll get on to that. I'll put it in the comments when I do it.
Call back to
Uh,
you next week.
yeah. Mate, moving into some horse racing. Again, what I'm going to do is Saturday morning, I'll put a comment on this reel here with some any updates based on track performance and what happens over the next couple of days. But as it stands, race one at Randwick, got Hidden Motive. It's a Nathan Doyle horse, actually. Nathan Doyle's a local trainer in the Newcastle slash Hunter Valley area. It's the favourite, so $2.50, favourite tipper there. So that's in race one anyway. I reckon that'll win. Another favourite in race seven, Cool Jakey. It has not placed in its last seven starts. So it's ran first, second, third, first, second, based on a pattern. It should be third this weekend, but we're going to wipe that out and we'll come first there.
Good
Um,
reason. Good reason to pick that one.
Paying $3.10. So Cool Jakey. Uh, Race number nine at Randwick, Headley Grange. Just coming off a bit of a spell. Again, didn't not place last start. And what did I read the other day? So it's got a jockey on it. Terrible pronunciation here, but Hernomius. Someone will correct me on that. But this jockey has won 14 of its last 30 starts. So that's pretty good odds for a jockey. And a good horse there as well. So its first up record is three first ups, two wins, 1 second. I think it'll get up as well. It's at $7. Uh, Moving to Eagle Farm, race number three, Magic Millions race. We've got Mare Mount Blah, J Max on that one. Um, Again, it's won its last couple. I think it'll get up. A few of odds here. Moving into race four, I'm going to go Punch Lane number one, and Spacewalk number three. Spacewalk's paying $19 and Punch Lane's paying $6. Same race multi, top four for both of them. Uh, that'll pay some fairly big odds. So that'll be my same race multi for the weekend. Now, my best of the day, I'm going to go Sunrace. So it's race number one at Eagle Farm. It's paying 280, so the odds aren't the best there. But if you want some guaranteed money, put your new salary at Singleton are paying you on Sunrace, mate.
Done. Done deal.
Churchill's Choice is my other best of the day. It's race eight, second up for Nathan Doyle, again local trainer. It's in the Queensland Oaks, paying $12. So get on that one. Throw Giga Kick in there. I think Giga Kick second start gets up. And then again, last week, Eagle Farm got abandoned. So there was a race that moved to this week. Infancy and Floozy, top three, same race multi. So that was one of my tips last week that I'm just filtering onto this week. But I'll put them up in the comments so everyone can see them. And as I said last week, throw your mortgage or your salary on it, and you'll get a good return. Let me tell you. Let's hope it's not like week one. That was
Man,
a shocker. But
love your horses, mate. How do you
anyway,
get into horses?
mate, it's just fun. It's
Yeah.
fun.
And
It's
do you watch
it's
every race you put a bet on, or you just sort of watch the
yeah,
result?
oh for sure.
Yeah.
Mate, yeah, like well, the other morning I woke up. Oh, mate, the thing is, so like people look at gambling as an issue, right? So, and it is like a lot of people can't.
Can be. Can be.
Yeah, correct. I look at it as a hobby. So like, and not just a hobby. I look at it as an investment. So, man, I love shares. I love like that kind of thing excites me where you put money in and you study it enough. Like I'm not just throwing random money on random things and hoping
Yeah.
for luck. Like I study it. I have a budget. I set a budget every single week. So it's not like I'm going, oh, here's money, money, money. Like
Yeah.
I
Splash.
work out my weekly budget. I do it actually every December between Christmas and New Year's. I don't work in the business. I work on personal stuff and I set a budget out for the whole year. And that's everything. That's groceries, that's insurances, play money, gambling, whatever. And so I have a budget that I set myself for 12 months for gambling. And it's fuck all. It's $25 a week that I allow myself. So like
Right.
that's nothing. And to be honest, I think we've gone a little bit downhill the last couple of weeks, but so far this year I'm up $4,500. So
Uh,
to me, it's not. it's a hobby, but it's also it's an investment, really. Like
Mm,
if I study it enough and I learn it enough, I enjoy it, the return can be great.
yeah,
But
yeah,
again, you've got to have a budget.
yeah,
You cannot go past that budget, and you've got to enjoy it as well. There's no point, there can be an addiction. People get money, they throw it at it, they lose money, they try and chase that money,
yeah, yeah,
they fall down the rabbit hole. But for me, mate, it's fun. I love it. And I've got a
yeah,
horse of my own. I've got two horses actually.
yeah.
One's retired, it's out at Nan and Pops. It was a shit eat. And the second one's won me a fair bit of money. It's just gone into prep yesterday, actually. So
Pretty right.
hopefully 6 to 12 weeks it'll be racing again. But I really enjoy it, mate. I watch horse racing more than football now. Yeah.
Big horse guy. For footy, for me, if I see a game like Penrith and Tigers, I couldn't give a shit about. I'll chuck on $5 and just make it interesting. That's about
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah. And mate, that's the thing. Like, mate, you've got to know where you want to put your money and be
mm,
comfortable with where you're putting it. So
no,
um,
it's good to know.
yeah. But mate, that's pretty much all I've got. That's a wrap for this week. We get longer and longer every week. My guests get better and better, so we just can't stop
Love it.
talking.
Hey, who's next? You know,
Mate, next week we have Lewis Hamilton. Um,
beautiful F1 driver.
no, not the F1 driver.
Oh,
Not the F1 driver. So
sorry.
local boy Lewis Hamilton. He grew up in Singleton, moved to Newcastle, played for South Newcastle in rugby league in first grade for the
Yep,
last couple of years. He was their captain there for a little while. Played for the Newcastle Rebels in rep teams. Got a few offers as well last year to play some very high football. And they've just announced that he's signed back for Singleton first grade. So his first game will be not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, Scone at Scone. So we're going to get him
yep,
on Wednesday and have a chat to him about, I guess, the transition from Singleton to Newcastle and then back to Singleton and just have a bit of a chat about footy and why he's back and whatnot. So we'll get, young Louis. He's a fair few years younger than me. He's a good mate of mine, actually. So it'll be good to get him on and have a laugh. So he's on next week. Um, and then hopefully we're hoping the following week we're going to get an NRLW player and a little New South Wales Welshman in Bridie Parker on to have a bit of a yarn about
beautiful.
her career as well. She had a bit
Yep,
of a injury last year that took her out of the
yep,
game for a long time, and she done a lot of rehab to get back to where she is now playing for the Blues. So it'd be good to get her on and just see, how she coped with that, and for kids these days that are playing the sport and getting dropped or getting injuries, how they come back for that. So
yep.
a couple of guests for the next couple of weeks. Hopefully we can get them on.
Awesome. And she's a Muswellbrook girl.
She's a Muswellbrook girl, mate. Yeah.
Yep.
So we had yeah, again, she's an old mate of mine as well. So yeah, it'd be good to see how she got to where she is. Love seeing these locals go to where they go. So
Mm,
it's good.
yep.
It's good.
Beautiful.
But mate, one last thing I've got for you. The question of the week is, what's one thing you would wire into someone's brain for success? What do you got for
Oh,
us?
electrical question. I think I mentioned it earlier in the piece. Patience. Just be patient. Stay
Yeah,
patient. Work life, married life, all that sort of stuff. Patience is key. Good things come in time. So
for sure. For sure. No, I like that, mate. It's one thing that I definitely try and work on every day. Paige will tell you the same thing. I'm not a patient man, but one thing I definitely set as my goals for the year and try and work on is a bit of patience. So it's definitely
yeah,
a good plug. But again, everyone listening, jump on, subscribe, give us a like. We do a $500 giveaway every month, so jump on. Everyone that follows us, new followers, new likes, new comments every month, we'll put you in the draw. So you can get in 3 times if you like. It's one comment, that's one. Subscribe, that's one. So you can get in a few different entries. We're on Spotify as well, and we'll give $500 away every month. Um, and mate, everyone as well also get on Facebook and follow the Singleton Golf Club. It'd be interesting to see where we go with you in charge over the next couple of months and what you have in store for us. So it'd be good to see that.
look forward to it. Look forward to it. Definitely.
Righto, bro. Well, I will let you go so you can rest up for a big day tomorrow at Singleton Golf Club, and we'll talk from there.
Thanks for having me.